Good morning, everyone. I am showing 10 o'clock, so we will go ahead and commence our BASC meeting. Jennifer, would you please do roll call?
Regent Mendoza,
Present.
Regent Johnston, here. Regent Parasker,
Good morning. Here.
and Regent Wolfmore. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the approval of minutes from the May 14th BASC meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
I can move. Regent Mendoza.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. All right, we will go ahead and move to board consent item 2A, request for approval, the Associate of Applied Science and Food and Feed Manufacturing. Provost Mendes, if you are online, I will go ahead and open it up for you to give us an overview of this proposal. So if you're there.
He's on. I think he's en route today. I'm Margaret Morstarter. I'm Vice Provost for Kansas State University. Oh, sorry, Provost, go ahead. So we'll go ahead and turn it over to Dan Mosier. He's Associate Dean in the College of Agriculture, and he'll give a brief overview of the program.
Thank you.
Good morning, and thanks for the opportunity to join you. We're very excited about this new proposed program and Associates of Feed and Food Manufacturing. This new program is a direct result of an industry request at one of the national feed industry meetings. A group of stakeholders got together and contacted several universities that were there at the meeting and asked specifically for an associate's degree that would serve their workforce development needs. And as you know, feed manufacturing, pet food manufacturing, wheat milling are very significant enterprises in the state of Kansas economically. K-State is clearly the world leader in this area. No other university in the nation has both the feed milling and flour milling equipment, infrastructure, the facilities that you see behind me in the photo. That doesn't exist anywhere else. None of our neighboring institutions. Some have flour but not feed. Some have feed but not flour. But no one else has what we have here. And the number of faculty with industry expertise really equips us very well to meet this very specific industry need. So based on that request, this program was developed. It is an Associate of Applied Science. This is not a transfer degree. This is a very unique program. And this is not, we have no intention of bringing forward other associate's degrees in agriculture. We wouldn't want to duplicate anything that's existing in our system or elsewhere. But because of the very unique facilities that we have, the very unique industry connections that we have, and the very unique faculty, close to 20 faculty with training in all aspects of feed and food manufacturing, it seemed like a very logical opportunity for K-State to serve our stakeholders, the very stakeholders that have made very significant investments in endowed chairs in this department to help build the facilities that you see in the picture, and also major contributors to the new Global Center for Feed and Grain Innovation that is also close to completion.
Oh, Regent Mendoza, I think your mute button's on.
Thank you, Provost Mendes. Did anybody from K-State want to add additional information on this proposal?
Just wanted to reiterate, we know that as far as that current cable policy, discourages, for your institution is from proposing associate's degrees, and we were just approached by industry to do so. And so we acknowledge that part of it. And that was discussed during the first reading. During tax code.
Thank you. The committee has received a substantial amount of information in regards to this proposal, and we've had a lot of, I've had a lot of voices from stakeholders regarding this proposal. So rather than open this up for comment this morning, I'm just going to open it up to BAS committee members to ask questions to clarify some things that we may need further information on. So Regents, do you have questions for anybody from K-State on this proposal?
Chair Mendoza. Chair
Yes.
Mendoza, can you hear me? Sorry.
Okay.
This is Alicia Johnston. I get a D- in technology, but I certainly appreciate all the information that we have received and acknowledge the fact that I too believe that K-State is a world leader in milling and manufacturing. I would, though, like to see some collaboration with the community colleges in the state of Kansas. I think that, as far as our board policies are concerned, and if you look at our goals, we certainly want to make sure that the resources that are K-State, which are phenomenal, everything from leadership, obviously, to the physical attributes that you have there behind Dr. Mosier, I think that those would also benefit greatly some of our community college students. And I know that one of the things that we've talked about is stackable credentials. And so I know that, for instance, Cali County Community College has a certificate in this program. And with the idea that if we use stackable credentials, those students have already attained some course of the coursework that is required for the AAS. Would it be possible then to create a 1+1 or other stackable credentials, which is going to help not only the students, but business and industry, and of course, economic development in those local areas? So either Dr. Mosier or Dr. Mendez, if you could address either one of them.
Johnston, we would be very open to that kind of conversation. We'd have to evaluate. We haven't evaluated yet the courses for equivalency, but I would expect that some of the courses that Cowley offers in their certificate program would be equivalent to, our courses are designed more in a modular nature, but it may very well be that some of the Cowley courses would meet maybe even more than one module. And we're very open to working with Cowley to see about the potential for transfer courses. And if things work out to do a 1+1, we'd be very open to that. The industry wants to see this program grow, and any avenue we have to make more students aware of this opportunity and get them involved in this industry, we're definitely in favor of.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Chair Mendoza, I have a D- in agriculture, so I don't know if I'm qualified to talk about the details of the topic, but I second Regent Johnston's, opinion to bring in as many, equivalent courses and recognize them, because keeping student in center of our intention is to reduce barriers and reduce, of course, cost to attain these degree. But I do want to point out that exceptional work on having industry support this applied science program, that's phenomenal. This is exactly what we need with education systems engaging business and trying to see how we can best suit their needs, and at the same time, keeping student in center. Will they land in a job after going through, and spending their time, money, and resources to get through that degree? So I just wanted to give kudos to K-State on engaging industry in a very effective manner. And if you're open to working with our community colleges, that would be a perfect combination. So that's my statement.
Thank you, Regent Parasker. I would have to agree with my fellow regents this morning. I think this is a critical area and I see a lot of potential to grow in this area. However, I would also like to see some more collaboration with the community college sector. So if K-State is open to that, I think maybe rather than approving this proposal the way that it's written now, perhaps we table this until you've had time to collaborate and maybe determine a plan of action to move forward with collaboration with the community college. I know that a lot of people are going to be on summer break and we only have our meeting. We have a meeting very soon or within a couple of weeks. I don't know that that's enough time, but maybe we table this until our September meeting in order to provide that time for that collaboration to occur. Dr. Mosier, Dr. Mendez, does that sound, what are your thoughts on that?
My only concern, and we're open to whatever you would ask in terms of collaboration. We can sit down with the Cali catalog and see what courses might be equivalent. You know, the approval date does have an effect on when we can start offering the program. And so, you know, our goal would have been to offer this fall, and some of our industry partners have indicated that they are ready to enroll students in the program this fall. But we'll certainly follow whatever guidance you provide.
Thank you, Dr. Mosier. Again, after having reviewed the information, I do feel that that collaboration is essential and needed. So I would propose that we table until September, and maybe perhaps at our next meeting, if you guys have had time to think about it, maybe start those initial steps, maybe an update at our next BASC meeting on June 11th. Dr. Mulholland, do we need to make that motion to table that?
Yes, I think
Okay.
so, because this is it's slated to go to the board at the next meeting. So
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, so I would entertain a motion to table this proposal to have them bring it back in September with the plan to collaborate with the community college sector and to include an update of progress at the June 11th meeting. Do I have a motion?
Chair Mendoza. This is Alicia Johnston. I would make that motion. So I move that we table this idea until September. I would also encourage K-State to reach directly to Cali and not just take a look at the catalog, because I think that, you know, they have a lot of, you know, they have some historic knowledge and a lot of folks that have worked in that area. And I think, like I said, that sort of stackable 1+1 thing can benefit many of folks, business and industry, and support the goals of KBOR. So yes, I would make that motion. Rather long one there, but maybe we could just summarize that. Sorry.
All right. Okay, do I have
Yeah, I also want to give a comment and then make a decision. Comment is we want the industry to move faster, and we don't want KBOR to be the one that is restricting. But at the same time, we don't want to move faster in the wrong direction. And so we are trying to kind of create a process here in terms of collaboration. And I would second that as well in spirit of that. Hopefully next time anything like this comes in, this particular guidance is kind of a reference for the universities to look at. So with that, I'm seconding. And mine also is long.
All right, thank you. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. We look forward to hearing an update on this proposal.
Chair Mendoza,
Yes.
I know these kinds of proposals from our universities are rare, and our policy does address them. They're not prohibited, but they're discouraged. But I'm wondering if this is an opportunity for us to take another look at that part of our policy and perhaps provide some additional steps or guidelines, something that could expedite the process if and when there was an opportunity, if an opportunity like this came along some point in the future, we could maybe address this on the front end instead of where we are at this point in the process. Does that make sense, what I'm suggesting?
Yes, it does. Thank you. As I was reading through the policy and the different letters that we received, I kind of had the same thought. There's a little bit of a gray area there. It seemed to me it was kind of hard to really get a clear-cut answer from our policy. So I do like the idea of that. So perhaps we could task academic affairs with kind of digging into that policy and seeing where we might be able to just provide some more clarity.
Yeah, I don't think these would be wholesale changes, perhaps just a tweak here or there, or an additional step in the process, so that we have the board has some assurance on the front end that the proposing institution, the university, has reached out and either developed a collaborative relationship or has exhausted exploring those opportunities before we would move forward with it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Monholland.
I do think that's a great idea, Dr. Monholland. So thank you. I think that will benefit everybody and probably help the process in terms of expediency and moving along, and just make it clear up front, give some clarity to everybody about how to move forward when we have these rather unusual requests come forward.
Thank you. All right, we will go ahead and move on to item 2B. Dr. Mendez or Provost Mendez, it looks like you're up again for the request for approval of the Bachelor of Science in Nuclear Engineering and a request to exceed the 120 hours.
On this item, I will defer to my colleague, Dr. Amir Bavadori.
Yep.
Yes, thank you very much for having me here today to speak about the proposed program. To give a little background, K-State currently offers a nuclear engineering option, a sub-plan for the mechanical engineering bachelor's degree. We also offer master's and doctoral degrees in nuclear engineering. So we have a strong set of faculty members who have expertise in the various areas that comprise nuclear engineering. We have currently high demand for our graduates. They work at national labs, NASA, academia, and industry, including in-state with Wolf Creek and Evergy, Black and Veatch as specific sites. Additionally, K-State has an incredibly unique resource, one of only 25 university research reactors around the country, and we have the only nuclear engineering program in Kansas. Over the last 5 years, we've seen incredible increases in student interest in nuclear engineering, and we've heard from our students and our industrial advisory board that we could benefit by offering a full Bachelor of Science in Nuclear Engineering. We've also seen sustained bipartisan support at the national level and increasing public support for nuclear power. There's a large projected increase in the workforce necessary to deploy the nuclear power that is needed. But I also want to point out that nuclear engineering has a lot of applications outside of power generation that include the health and national defense sectors. Currently, there is a lack of ABET accredited nuclear engineering bachelor's programs in the Northern Great Plains. There is one in Missouri, but we see the opportunity to fill a substantial void and continue our trend of increasing enrollment and satisfied employers of our graduates. I would entertain any questions that you have on this program and welcome the opportunity to do so.
Mendoza, if I may speak. So my question for this is, I'm seeing the GPA requirement for the student. I would assume that this is probably a little more challenging topic for the students to take. And so I wanted to understand, is this a standard 2.0 GPA is a standard for approval for K-State, or is it in particularly to this topic? And so another thing I wanted to follow up is, if this is a high demand topic, why don't we attract a little more, students who have shown academic success? So again, it's a question to understand the process.
So our admission criteria are identical to the rest of the College of Engineering. We attract very, very high quality students. At the same time, while we acknowledge that this is an incredibly challenging field, we want to ensure that we're providing opportunity for students of all backgrounds to pursue this field if they so choose. One of the things that we've done to, I would say, try to ease the transition into nuclear engineering is we have a common first year with the mechanical engineering program. So if students jump in and they decide that nuclear engineering is not necessarily what they want to do, or perhaps too challenging for their tastes, they can transfer over to mechanical engineering with essentially minimal loss of invested time. We want to make sure, again, that we're providing opportunity for all students to pursue this. One of the major challenges within nuclear engineering is appealing to very broad audiences, and we definitely want to do that.
I see that you're, opening up a lot more students to go be successful, but I'm afraid that we bring in students thinking that they would go through it and get through the topic and then realize they may not able to. So I see that they can transfer, but that's still a loss of their time. So that's my concern, is we bring in students thinking that with the 2.0 GPA, they could get through a topic like that. And if they have to get into the industry and be successful, they probably have to have a little more academic, standing in terms of the GPA at least. And so that's my concern. And back to you, Chair Mendoza.
Thank you, Regent Prasker. Regent Johnston, did you have any questions on this?
I don't. Thank you.
I don't have any questions in regards to this topic either. So I think the motion before us would be, or the action before us would be to request or to approve this proposal. Do I have a motion to approve the Bachelor of Science in Nuclear Engineering and the request to exceed the 120 hours?
So moved.
I can second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item on the agenda today, at our last BASC meeting in Topeka, we received a substantial amount of information on the annual program review from KU, KU Med, and K-State. I know we were a little rushed for time there at the end, so Dr. Mulholland had some further information he wanted to add to that topic. So Dr. Mulholland?
Thank you, Regent Mendoza. I don't know that I have so much to add, but just wanted to make sure that we had not cut short any discussion or conversation around this program review. As just by way of summary and recapping where we were, the three institutions, K-State had 219 programs, KU 247 programs, and KUMC 51 programs. I want to remind that we asked the institutions to combine all bachelor degree options for a major. For example, counting if there's both a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science offered, that's counted as one degree and not two separate degrees for in terms of trying to meet some of the minima requirements. I think the reports the institutions provided, this was a new process for the institutions. It was also a new process for us here at KBOR. But I felt, and I think staff would agree, that the institutions addressed the questions we had put before them. And I particularly want to point out that a key part of academic program review, as part of a holistic process that the board has, that it's not just this periodic review that we do here at KBOR, but we require the institutions to have very clear and regular reviews of their academic programs on campus. And I think that came through it was very evident that all three units, K-State, KU, and the Med Center, had that they had a very thorough internal program review. It went through various stages. It was not confined just to a specific department or a specific college or school, but it included reviewers from across the institution, and who could look at it with an unjaundiced eye and provide some genuine comment and critique of the programs. The institutions, and really what we would put forth to the full board for recommendations, were those programs the institutions had identified to one, phase out, two, merge with another program, or three, put on an action plan as a result of the program review. And in your materials, those recommendations are listed. I believe there were K-State had two programs to phase out and merge, and that's from actually last year's review, if I'm remembering correctly. KU has a couple that it's going to phase out, as well as a couple that it intends to merge in with another program. The Med Center has one program it proposes to phase out. The other programs have been put on action plans, and those action plans vary depending on the nature of the minima that the programs were not meeting. I think this is an opportunity to Chair Mendoza, if BASC agrees with those recommendations, the board will have to approve them for them to take effect. But I don't know if there's any other comments or recommendations BASC would want to include or add to the recommendation going to the board. But if there is additional comment or something else the board wants to make sure, the BASC wants to make sure the board is aware of, I think we can certainly include that in the issue paper so that it reaches the full board.
Chair Mendoza,
Yes, Regent Johnston.
if I might, and you probably have already covered this, Dr. Monholland, but one of the things that I just wanted to make sure is that I know when at the last BASC meeting in Topeka, we talked about the fact that some of these programs that lie outside of those that we had looked at and that had been either, put on you know, in terms of whether they were going to merge or whatever. They didn't meet the metrics. I think there were some other programs when we visited with KU that they might want to look at that would allow them to look at some administrative efficiencies and some of those things. And I want to make sure that that is also part of the recommendation so they can internally, you know, kind of grassroots use the information, the knowledge that they have to bring to us. Hey, you know what? It looks like these are some areas that we could definitely still meet, you know, high quality, you know, students' needs, but at the same time, be able to look at some efficiencies, especially when you look at some of these low enrollment programs where we might have administrative efficiencies. Is that part of what you were saying too, Dr. Monholland?
I didn't mean to put any limitations or parameters around it. I think it, you know, any additional recommendations should come from the members of BASC based upon the reports we received a couple of weeks ago from the institutions. And I do recall that conversation.
So Regent Johnston and Rusty, I noted in the minutes the paragraph that said Regent Johnston asked if the process for reviewing administrative efficiencies at KU, particularly for low enrolled programs, could be looked at more formally and a report be provided to KBOR on the specific findings. Regent Mendoza requested that the report be presented in December 2025 when the reports for the programs that are on action plans be presented. I noted I had a little more specificity in my own notes of the meeting. And I took Regent Johnston's particular request that Regent Mendoza asked for a report for to be that we look for opportunities for potential mergers or reorganizations that would create academic or administrative efficiencies or research synergies. And I did take that to include that if I give that the assignment to the dean, which I have given him awareness of, that he should be looking at what makes sense to create academic, administrative, and efficiencies and research synergies. And it's not simply focusing on those low enrolled programs if they could be incorporated with other programming. So I took that specific charge with the request for a report on what actions we would take to be delivered in December when we deliver our updates on our otherwise low enrolled programs or programs that are on the academic program review outcomes list. Does that help clarify my understanding of what we're supposed to do?
For my point, I just want to say, that's what I meant to say. Thank you, Dr. Bicklemeyer.
I take good notes, Regent Johnson, just so you know. I want to be clear.
You got my back and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Provost Bicklemeyer. Regent Prasker, or sorry, go ahead, Dr. Monholland.
Given that we've you made this request already, perhaps it doesn't need to be a formal recommendation to the board, but we could just make sure that it is added to the issue paper so the board is aware of what we've asked the institutions to do.
Okay, so just for clarification, we don't necessarily need to move the recommendations to the board for approval, but just include this in the issue paper.
That particular recommendations,
Gotcha.
We want to send the program recommendations the institutions have made to the board for its review and possible approval.
Okay. And then we'll still go back and review this, what we just discussed in December. Okay.
Yes.
So Regent Prasker, did you have anything to add on this before we make a motion?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I would entertain a motion to move the annual program review recommendations for KU, KU Med, and Kansas State to the full board at our next meeting. But we will also include information about reviewing administrative efficiencies back in December of 2025.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you.
You're gonna have to move next time to Lima.
I'll remember that.
All right,
Mhm.
it looks like K-State is up again with changes to qualified admissions. Provost Mendez?
Thank you, Regent Mendoza. At this point, I'd like to cede the floor to Dr. Moore Schroeder.
Thank you.
Sorry, now I'm unmuted. So we are proposing our changes to qualified admissions. And give me a second, I just lost my window. I'm so sorry. Provost Mendez, can you start? My Outlook just crashed. That had it open. I'm so
In between, as
sorry.
far as Karen Goose has logged in, we're all traveling this week, and so it looks like Karen she's at the airport right now, and so but she's online with to provide an overview.
Geez, yes, I'm traveling and in a different place normal than today. So yeah, we are recommending that we change our admissions criteria from a 3.25 or an ACT to institute a 3.0 GPA or a 2.5 and a 21. 5 years ago, we changed our criteria, and after a 5-year review, we want to go back and institute to make sure that there is a required GPA and to lower the threshold of our GPA only. The GPA only dropping from a 3.25 to a 3.0 allows us to stay competitive with regional peers, and the institution of a change of adding a GPA to our test score for our other option allows us to maintain our retention and completion rates. We found that those that were being admitted without a GPA under just the 2.0 were not being quite as successful here at K-State. We want to make sure we're setting students up for success. We believe that this will help maintain competitive over the next year to help grow our enrollment and sustain our retention and completion rates as a land-grant university. Happy to answer any questions you guys have.
Thank you for that overview. Regents, do we have any questions?
I'm happy to hear that we are going through that and making sure that the students who are enrolling those programs, we are bringing students who would be successful in the program. So just a comment there.
Regent Mendoza?
Yes.
Just as by way of a refresher, KU had made a similar request, and we reviewed this. I believe it was late in the year last year, and it was ultimately approved. And I believe the changes are if not exactly the same, very similar. And this, if approved by the board, this will have to go through a regulatory review, and we'll have to modify those changes. Statute requires that these changes to qualified admissions cannot take effect until what is in effect the kids who just completed 8th grade, if it was approved today, enroll in college. So there's about a 4-year lag between the actual approval and the new standards being put in place before they can be applied for admitting students to the institution.
Thank you for that recap, Dr. Monholland. I was just thinking about that KU proposal as well. I think it's a good move. We know that high schoolers go through a lot in those 4 years. So giving them some of that, that leeway to, okay, we made a mistake 1 year, or our head wasn't where it should have been, but we're focused and we're ready to move on. And, these kids have potential, but they're young, and, things happen in high school. So I'm glad to see that we're adjusting that to accommodate all learners. Regent Johnston, did you have any comments on this?
I don't. I appreciate the information and agree with what's been said. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I would entertain a motion to make the changes to qualified admissions at K-State.
I can move.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Motion passes. Thank you, K-State. All right, moving on to the next item on our agenda. I think Dr. Monholland maybe has an update for us on the first 15.
Yes, thank you, Regent Mendoza. It's a very brief update. I believe when we met last month in April in Pittsburgh, I had updated that we had decided to make a slight shift from a no cost to the student to low cost to the student approach to providing the first 15. And so we've met once and started down that path, the work group, the first 15 work group, and we made. I think there was some good conversation, although we haven't achieved a final agreement yet. One of the things that also is going to be part of this that came from some internal conversations is publishing on the KBOR website data around the actual costs of dual or concurrent enrollment courses that students would have to pay depending on the institution they attend and where they reside, either in the service area or in the county of the community college. So I've started collecting that. The data's been coming in pretty steady for the last week or so. The deadline to have it fully submitted is this Friday. I'll have that compiled, and once I have that together, it's my intention we'll have another meeting of the first 15 work group, and we will take a look at it and then see where we can go in trying to hammer out some kind of agreement that would let us offer the first 15 at low cost to the students, which I think would be at least be an important step forward, first step forward in making this initiative come to fruition.
Thank you, Dr. Monholland. I know there's been a lot of work to try to get that moving, so I appreciate all of the parties that have been involved in that process and the work that they've done. Do we have any additional academic affairs updates?
If I may, a little horn tooting here. We responded to a request for proposals to participate in what's being called the Rural Talent Development and Attraction Laboratory. It's a joint effort of SHEO, our professional organization, and the Alliance for Research on Regional Colleges, which is housed at Appalachian State University in North Carolina. They are selecting 5 states to participate in this 4-year project. The primary goal is to develop at least 4 sub-baccalaureate pathways, credential pathways in various communities, rural communities, that will help the development of rural talent and also help attract economic growth to those areas. The states will receive, it was $100,000 in terms of support, technical assistance, and plus funds for the state teams to travel. I think a unique piece of this this initiative is that it's not just an outside team coming in and telling a community you need this or this, but the pathways will be developed in cooperation with the communities after interviews and focus groups and conversations with various community representatives. And I'm so pleased to announce that Kansas was one of the 5 states selected. KBOR will be the lead institution, but we also have partners from the community and technical colleges, from Kansas State's University's Extension, from the Department of Labor, from the Department of Commerce, and the Department of Education. So I'm just really excited. I think it's a tremendous opportunity, and really looking forward. We have our first phone call with the funders this afternoon, and I'll learn a little bit more about it, and look forward to sharing with you our progress as we get into the work.
Thank you, Dr. Monholland. That's exciting news, and I think it speaks to the work that KBOR has been putting forward. So we are excited to hear back from you and receive that update. I did want to, are there any other updates from BASC or academic affairs staff?
We don't have any, no, thank you.
Thank you. I did want to address the topic of tenure. I know that there was a bill put forth just recently that there was a lot of questions about. There was a lot of just uncertainties, unknowns. I do think that we need to be prepared as the Board of Regents to defend tenure, because I feel like that bill is probably going to come forward again. I would like to ask Academic Affairs to maybe kind of just look at our policy on tenure and see if there are any areas that maybe we could improve upon, or just kind of do a thorough review and see, just so that we're prepared to defend it. And you know, we're showing that we're working on it, and we're hearing the concerns, but I just think it's essential that we look at it and just review it, so that we're prepared. So I would like to ask Academic Affairs staff to please take a look at that, and maybe bring us some information on what you might find, if there are any areas identified that may need to be reviewed.
We will be happy to do that. Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, is there anything else to come before the committee this morning? Hey, we were very efficient today. We got a lot done in a short amount of time. Teamwork. So I appreciate everyone and their thoughts this morning. I would go ahead and entertain a motion to adjourn, with our next meeting being on June 11th.
I'll move.
Okay.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion or meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.